Hello and welcome back to another PAP Reports. Today is Thursday the 16th of January 2020 and today we've got quite a bit to get through, from poo in a parcel, yes I said poo, to Cleveland Police, the worst police force in the country, spending almost $2 million for new offices, and a cop who took drugs he had taken from a suspect only to go on to cause serious injury by dangerous driving. So let's get cracking. 27-year-old David Morton seemed to have a grudge against the PC Ramsey after being arrested for spitting at two parking control officers. Still can't work out why they call them officers. Morton of James Street, Stanley, was spoken to by parking enforcement over his moped for parking illegally outside a McDonald's in Newcastle on April the 24th last year. It was alleged that Morton exited McDonald's to see a ticket on his moped, at which point he called the parking enforcers dirty pig eaters and Anglican worshippers. The next day, Morton was issued with another ticket for illegally parking again. This time, he swore at the parking enforcers before driving off, only to return moments later to spit at one of them, before driving off and returning once again to spit in the face of the second. Morton was subsequently arrested for the spitting, which of course is disgusting and classed as assault, failing to provide the proper documents, and felt a little hard done by PC Ramsey for the arrest and the later destruction of his moped, which was said to have belonged to Morton's father, who had since died. And the police were asking for documents proving that the moped had in fact been left to him by his father, which was not possible to provide. Personally, I think that the police probably knew this. I mean, who's going to write a transfer of ownership document just in case they die? It just doesn't happen. So in my opinion, this was asked for as they knew it would be difficult or impossible to provide. Weeks later, Morton sent a parcel to Northumbria Police HQ containing an abusive letter along with some human poo marked for PC Ramsey. Newcastle Crown Court heard how the crap present was sent after a campaign of abusive emails and reports sent through the police force's website. The reports made through the website included "Wish PC Ramsey would die of cancer," along with hoping that bad things happen to Ramsey's children, as well as making references to the Manchester and London terror attacks. Morton tried to conceal his identity by using a name that was of an Islamic background. Morton pleaded guilty to 2 counts of common assault, religiously aggravated public order offence, sending prohibited or other articles through the post, and sending of malicious communication, where he was found guilty, but was spared jail. Instead, he was sentenced to 7 months, suspended for 18 months, and also made subject of a tag curfew and 36 days rehabilitation, including a restraining order preventing him from contacting PC Ramsey, and ordered to pay £200 compensation to the parking enforcer whose face he spat in. I do wonder how sending poo is prohibited though, as there are some places that will check your poo for cancer, allowing you to send samples through the post. Although it may not be a log, it's ultimately the same substance. Anyway, sorry if you thought that story was a bit crap, but nevertheless it's here, and now we move on to our next. A plumber from Staffordshire has lodged a complaint to the IOPC after spending 10 days in hospital and now claiming to be blind in one eye after being pepper sprayed. 51-year-old Kev Hardy says he was arrested as he walked to a friend's house in Trentham at 2 a.m. He says he was detained on suspicion of detonating explosives, an allegation which he absolutely denies. Kev said, "I was walking between New Inn Lane and the Lee when a firework was let off behind me in New Inn Lane. I heard a flash and a bang, looked around and I could see a silver or grey Vauxhall Corsa. I did not think anything of it. Within a few minutes a bloke was filming me. I said, 'Are you filming me?' He said, 'Was that you?' I told him it was nothing to do with me. I walked down a grassed area near a brook, and when I got to the other side the police were there. They were waiting for me, a male and a female officer. They both jumped out of their van and said I was under arrest for detonating explosives. I said, 'What do you take me for, a terrorist?' In this day and age they take everyone for terrorists. I said, "I am under arrest for nothing. It is nothing to do with me." They pulled me to the ground. I was held on the ground and could not do anything. I was pepper sprayed in my face. It felt like the liquid from the spray had filled inside my head. I said, "Call an ambulance." They put me in the back of the van and took me to A&E. I went there in handcuffs. I was in hospital for 10 days and was discharged on Monday, January the 6th. I lay in a hospital bed for 10 days and had an operation on my right eye. The eyeball was ruptured and I had to have an operation to stitch it together. I now have zero vision in my right eye. The police have got the wrong bloke. My account is 100% truthful. He added, "I have had new glasses to help my left eye. I can't go to work and I am a plumber by trade. I was hoping to get back to work, but now I can't. I am not going to let this drop. I want compensation." Staffordshire Police have confirmed an IOPC investigation is underway. An anonymous whistleblower from West Midlands Police has made allegations in an anonymous tip-off over PC Naomi Harman-burton about lying over her living situations and falsely claiming police widow's pension. Burton's late wife died in 2006 in a vehicle accident, which made her then eligible for a survivor pension payment of around £10,000 a year. This benefit would be stopped if her circumstances changed. She was said to have been paid up to £50,000 by the police force, despite living with girlfriends, including 2 other officers and one she had children with. Though no criminal case has been brought against her, she has now been dismissed without notice for fraudulently claiming survivor pension whilst cohabiting between 2009 and 2017. At a misconduct hearing, the chair said she didn't inform the HR department. This could be explained by laziness. However, the evidence is more supportive of the officer's desire to prevent the force finding out about her domestic arrangement. Her conduct breaches standards of behaviour, honesty and integrity, and therefore amounts to gross misconduct. She was dismissed without notice as her conduct was both intentional and deliberate. The misconduct hearing heard how it will be the more serious end of the spectrum in terms of dishonesty. And in terms of harm caused, there has been significant financial loss to West Midlands Police, along with the reputational damage to the force. I'm sorry, West Midlands Police, I think your reputation is already irreparable. The alleged offences came to light when anonymous correspondence was sent to the force and an investigation into her living arrangements was launched. To which I do want to say that I think it's about time the higher-ups started taking reports about their staff seriously and actually dealing with it. This one could have easily been swept under the carpet, but they did take action, so fair play for that. We just need them to do it a little more often. Cleveland Police, the verified worst force in the country, is spending almost £2 million of taxpayers' money for new offices as they say there isn't enough space for extra staff. This is only 18 months after the £20 million Community Safety Hub was opened. Cleveland's Police and Crime Commissioner has revealed that the force does not have sufficient capacity in its existing estate to accommodate more than 100 staff due to come later this year as a result of the government's 20,000 new bully promise. The building itself has cost £800,000, with the remaining £750,000 being used for fitting out, not fitting up. Up until 2018, Cleveland Police had a contract with services firm Sopra Steria, which appears to have seen 470 police staff being transferred from being directly employed by the force to being employed by the service provider. However, that deal came to an end and the staff are now due to come back in-house later this year. Cleveland's Police and Crime Commissioner added, "Our aim was to create a partnership hub rather than a police headquarters, and a range of functions previously based at the Ladgate Lane headquarters were disseminated across the Cleveland Police estate. Estate meaning their subcontractors, no doubt. But with the failure to renew the contract, this means that police will have to work for the police once again." A very strange thing to say. Mr. Coppinger, the Crime Commissioner for the Force area, has announced that he will not stand for re-election in May this year, after the force became the first in the UK to be rated inadequate in all areas in 2019. Cumbria Police Force are being criticised for failing to investigate petrol theft or bilking, even when being offered CCTV footage of the offenders and the offender's registration number. Carlisle City Council was told Cumbria Police said it was not cost effective to pursue the matter as the value of the goods was under £200, with Inspector Diane Bradbury saying that resources were sent to incidents in which there was a higher risk to those involved. Carlisle City Councillor David Morton told the meeting he had received complaints from residents. My experience over the last few months with complaints is to say at least disappointing, he said. The driver he mentioned had filled up with £100 of fuel at the garage and simply drove off without paying. When the same thing happened once again, the garage again had registration details and CCTV, but police said they would not pursue the matter because the driver was not wanted anywhere else and lived in Salisbury. So remember folks, if you're going to commit a crime, do it out of your local area and make sure that the crime isn't for any more than £200 and you'll be sorted. 49-year-old George Shearer, formerly of Police Scotland, is alleged to have taken tablets that he seized from a suspect, which went on to cause him to crash his vehicle, causing serious injury to one and killing a dog after colliding with a van on the opposite side of the road on the A90 Aberdeen to Peterhead Road in February 2017. The charge against Shearer alleges that he lost control of his van, went onto the wrong side of the road and into the path of an oncoming vehicle, the driver of which is said to have been severely injured to the point of danger to his life and permanent impairment. The indictment also states a police dog was fatally hurt, which clearly indicates that Shearer was in control of a police vehicle at the time, I would suggest. A separate charge alleges Mr. Shearer did neglect or violate his duties as a police constable. It claims that he stopped and searched a man in Aberdeen and found a number of tablets. Mr. Shearer is accused of seizing the haul of tablets, but then returning a quantity to the man before keeping an amount for himself for personal use and taking them. Mr. Shearer faces 5 charges of neglecting his duties, including that he did fail to take any other lawful measures to investigate a criminal offence after he failed to lodge alleged substances at a police station following a number of searches of suspects in Aberdeen. Mr. Shearer appeared at the High Court in Glasgow, where he denied all of the charges, and a trial has been set for June. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, very important to share. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will, and until next time, stay safe, look after each other, and remember to film the police. Good night all. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you like the content and you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so. In the description of every video there are some links to ways that you're able to help support the channel so I can continue putting out content. If you're unable to help us in that way, hit that subscribe button up the top there. If you haven't already, become a subscriber. That is support enough. Share the videos, comment, like, it all helps. If you're looking for something else to watch, up top there is my latest video. Down the bottom there is a video that YouTube recommends for you.